It's been 2 seasons since Sean Payton joined the Denver Broncos as the head coach. Now we finish off the 2024 season with a 10-7 record, playoffs for the first time since 2015. The roster's been turned over quite a bit, new additions in the front office, new players on the field. As we enter 2025, I got one question. Are we finally back? What's up, Broncos country? Well, the 2025 football season is finally here, and I'm extremely excited. More excited about the Denver Broncos this year than I have been in a long time. 2024 brought promise, 10-7 record, first time in the playoffs since 15, and there was actually some excitement, some buzz. I had the opportunity to go to a few of the Denver Broncos games, and you could feel the excitement. Feeling hopeful for the first time in a long time, not feeling exasperated or just plain apathetic to what was happening on the field. And that's a welcome change. Sean Payton, even though he wasn't my first choice, I will say has been a pleasant surprise. I knew he had done great things in New Orleans, turned that team around, a franchise that frankly hadn't had a winning past whatsoever, despite some popular quarterbacks that have come through that franchise. Him coming to Denver gave me hesitation. I think part of that came from the controversy with the Bounty Gate, the suspension. But honestly, I was a huge Drew Brees fan. Just loved him. Loved the guy. Loved that somebody took a chance on him and an organization took the chance on him. And it paid off, right? They ended up getting a Hall of Fame quarterback. So could Sean Payton replicate what he did in New Orleans by coming to the Denver Broncos? I honestly was hesitant about that. But it's been a welcome surprise, and it's been a welcome change. He truly has brought back culture to the Broncos. You can see it through the players with their confidence. You could see it in their attitude on the field. And you could just slowly, from even 2 years ago, just to start to see this shift. It couldn't get any worse after the Hackett era, right? Which I think we all would want to forget. So what happened in 2024, right? For years now, it seems like teams can run on the Broncos when they commit to it. It feels like they can gash us right up the middle, 30-yard runs. I mean, I still remember Daniel Jones running, 40 or 50 yards for a touchdown right through the middle of our defense a few years ago. Embarrassing. So coming out of the 2024 season, though the run defense was improved, it was still clear that there was a long way to go. Second for me was explosive plays. For a long time now, it's felt like the Broncos don't have the capability of getting explosive plays. And by that, I mean 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards completions. We saw a few of them, but those types of plays were few and far between. I'd love to see our running game get going. I would love to see our runners break off a 20-yard run, a 30-yard run, at least once a game. That's something we haven't seen in years. I feel like we haven't seen that since C.J. Anderson, and that's a long time. That's a long time. Another contributor to that is the fact that we seem to be unable to find a tight end. We thought it was going to be Greg Dulcich. Unfortunately, he couldn't stay healthy. You saw the potential there. Unfortunately, he couldn't stay healthy for us, and I completely understand why the organization ended up walking away and not feeling like they could make the long-term commitment. And I know for Sean Payton, I'm not going to overuse the term of joker that we've heard all offseason. Understanding that the tight end is so key to helping quarterbacks convert first downs, helping the team convert first downs, right? And being that safety valve beyond dumping off to the running back. That tight end helps you cut through a defense, helps you with those curls and those short yard completions, helps you with attacking the seams. Troutman's been great. Lucas Kroll showed a little bit of potential here and there, but there was still that dynamic tight end that we were still missing from our offense. I also think when it comes to explosive plays, our run offense was atrocious. Javonte Williams had just over 500 yards for the season. Bo Nix came in second as our lead rusher, understanding that several of his runs had to do with QB scrambles because of the play breaking down, but that still shouldn't be the case. Our quarterback was incidentally a part of the run game, which it wasn't intentional. So it always felt like our runners were either missing the holes or missing the reads, or our offensive line and runner just weren't on the same page. Watching the games live and on TV, they seemed decent in pass blocking. They seemed okay in the run game to me. So, how'd the offseason go for the Broncos? This year was, frankly, a really exciting offseason for us. In free agency, we picked up Talanoa Hufanga and Dre Greenlaw from the 49ers. Why this excites me is because the Broncos are the best and the most exciting to watch when there's a little bit of that nastiness to them. When you think about the 2015 season and the no-fly zone, right? All of them had a little bit of nastiness to them. The additions of Talanoa Hufanga, who, when you watch him play, he plays with his hair on fire, creeping up to the line of scrimmage, dropping back. You never know exactly what his role is with each snap of the ball. I love watching that guy play. Anytime he's in on the tackle, you see him scrapping for the ball. You see him still trying to make that turn, create a turnover, even as he's making that tackle. That is the type of safety play that I love watching. Having somebody like Dre Greenlaw be a middle linebacker, I've got Al Wilson football right there. To me, it hasn't been since Al Wilson that we've had somebody that's just loves to hit right up the middle. We've had some great middle linebackers, don't get me wrong. I love Todd Davis. I love Brandon Marshall. I love Danny Trevathan. But I still think that Al Wilson, when I think of middle linebacker, is the guy that I've just been dying for us to have on our defense. So for Dre Greenlaw to potentially fill that role, oh, that just makes me excited. We also added wide receiver Trent Sherfield for special teams. J.K. Dobbins, running back from the Chargers, which that dude gashed us up when we played them last year. So I silently prayed that J.K. Dobbins, even though we drafted a running back, I still prayed that we had a veteran presence in that room. And then finally, oh my goodness, a tight end, a dynamic tight end. Come on. We got Evan Ingram, y'all, and that is exciting. He's another player that we didn't get to see much of. When I went to training camp, I think they made one play to him during the scrimmage with the Arizona Cardinals. Still didn't see a lot of him. It seems like Sean Payton, Barty, and them, they are putting the lid on the offense, and really what their plans are. It was either today or yesterday with Sean Payton. He was talking to Rich Eisen, to Peter Schaffer, about what you can expect from the Broncos, and he said you can expect players playing in different roles than you've seen them play in the past, which I thought was an interesting little tidbit when it comes to the potentiality of what our offense is going to look like this year. So I really think they've just been keeping it hush-hush from the public, and it seems like exciting offense is back. We saw a better offense than we've seen in a long time in 2024. I want to throw away even 2023 and some of the years before with just the amount of frustrating offense that we saw coming out of the Broncos. That this year in 2025, I'm actually excited to watch them play. I'm a defensive guy at heart. I'm actually a huge fan of a defensive game. I don't mind a low-scoring game whatsoever, but who doesn't love watching a dynamic offense play? You want your offense to at least complement your defense, even if you lead with defense. And then finally, our draft. We drafted Jahdae Barron, R.J. Harvey, wide receiver Pat Bryant, defensive end Savion Jones, outside linebacker Q Robinson. We drafted a punter, y'all. I know people don't get excited about punters. I get excited about special teams. I was stoked to see us actually draft a punter, and a potentially dynamic punter. I think this is more of just throwing darts to Caleb Lohner. He looks like a developmental tight end for us. So with the additions that we've made in this offseason and through the draft, you see the Broncos directly addressing many of the same things that I saw coming out of 2024. Time will tell, and you see that the organization completely swapped out the running back room, basically, with the exception of Jaleel McLaughlin. I'm really, really excited about the fact that they've seemed to address that directly. When it comes to our explosive plays, they're clearly making an effort for that to happen and put some things around Bo Nix. So I mentioned that I was able to go to training camp. Having the ability to actually go and attend training camp and watch the Broncos practice really has given me even additional insight into how I feel about how the team looks heading into the season. Last year, watching the team practice, 2024, I was really excited by what I saw. You could tell that Bo Nix had this command. It felt different. Seeing training camp and then watching the preseason game right after that, you saw the potential. This year with attending training camp, this was the first time I had the opportunity to watch them in a joint practice, which was awesome to see. And this was for the Arizona Cardinals. What I saw was a defense that gave Kyler Murray fits. I saw an offense that seemed like, after reading all of the different practice reports throughout training camp, that it was Bo Nix's best day. And that's what I saw as well. The offense moved the ball really well during the team periods, which was great to see. Bo Nix had even more command of the offense. What I didn't see was the punter. It's been good in training camp, but it hasn't been good in the preseason games. Coaching staff has done some things in terms of creating several more punt periods in between practices to kind of help him find his game sooner. So we'll have to see how that translates on the field. From all of the practice reports coming out, there doesn't seem to be worry about Crawshaw, at least at this point, right? And you can tell that the coaching staff is committed to helping him find his way. I think we've got to buckle up, and the name of the game is going to be patience. So what are the expectations for the 2025 season? Explosive plays. Dear God, can we get some explosive plays this year? Can we see 10 and 15-yard runs broken off on a regular clip? Let's get our tight end involved. I can truly say it's starting to feel like a team that actually has a cultural identity. Tough, smart, physical football players that love the game, love the work, love the in-between. Sunday's play day, that's really, really cool to see. When you think of the really great 49ers teams, right? Defense leads the way, but you have an offense that complements that defense. That seems to be what Sean Payton is leading with right now. I think especially because he has such a young offense with a second-year quarterback, several young players. You've got an offense that is still, in a way, trying to find out what its identity. Ultimately, they need to make sure that they are putting points on the board. They need to score, and they need to make sure that they spell that defense. And then special teams is not an afterthought. I love that Darren Rizzi is part of the Broncos now. They value special teams, and I love the fact that Sean Payton values special teams. We are seeing the makings of a complete football team. I'm excited, y'all. I hope you're excited. I'm excited for the 2025 season. I think this Broncos team, after actually putting my eyes on them, after listening to the amazing reporters that are there, I'm excited about this team. I don't think second round to third round of the playoffs is out of question for this team this year. As these weeks roll along, as this team comes together, skies could be the limit for the Broncos, and I'm all for that. All right, y'all. For now, that's it. My name's Brandon Gilchrist. Excited to be on this journey with you all this year. And doing this for the first time. Please share your feedback, share your insights. Love to have discussion in the comments. Keep it kind. Let's go, Broncos country. Let's go. Talk to you soon. Cheers.